Hey, Shell.
And hello to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.
Last week, when I said that a saucer is for biscuits, I bloody well meant it. It's kind of sad that this is the last week on Book of Witches because next Saturday is November. But this week has been pretty interesting. We have Ken Liu, who I'm pretty sure is the author of the Dandelion Dynasty. One of the booktubers that I do follow has said she's read a lot of his short stories. This is one of them. So we've got good spells, which kind of has two things I need to point out, beginning and end. There's a quote from Ronald Barth's Death of the Author, translated by Richard Howard, and an author's note at the end, both of which I seem to be missing the point of, but oh well. Maybe it's just too early in the morning for me. I don't know. So this is an interesting one. We've got a techno witch. So techno witchcraft. This is sci-fi. We've got a sci-fi in the middle of a fantasy-driven narrative of stories, and it's quite interesting. So instead of the usual magic, we get a techno witch. And techno witchcraft is kind of like how we view hackers, but this is this is unfortunately in one of those horrific dystopia futures of robots and AI, and oh boy, it's looks a bit nightmarish how we're going. But so this is in a kind of a different format, as we get client information as what the request is, and yeah, and then we get the whole story. So the first one, client TN, or Tommy, is basically asking the witch for help. His workplace is like Amazon warehouse. I'm not joking. They've got these glasses that they've got to wear, and it's kind of like it'll give you the display of the best route to take to get to this item over here, the best way to pack this box to not leave any space whatsoever. You've got to efficiently pack it, and this will show you exactly how. And on top of that, you see ghosts of the other workers. The other workers are racing each other, and Tommy is also sucked into that. He has to race the other workers because the people on a different shift will have left their print of where they were, and Tommy is racing the ghost of where they were. And he even describes how he feels ashamed that he got sucked into it, and how he felt relieved that an old lady, one of the older co-workers, tripped and fell closer to the end, and how he took the lead. This company is using tech to pit the workers against each other. It's pretty horrific. Because the worst thing is the winner gets a bonus, and the bonus is picked from the wages of the other co-workers. It's quite bad. It's quite bad. And I just kept thinking of Amazon Warehouse, about that story where they couldn't actually let them have breaks to go to the toilet, because Tommy is literally going, I just want a break. I just need some more breaks. I can't work like this. This is too much. nobody can. It's inhumane, and they're just making it worse. And there's even like the witch's commentary over it, going, yeah, they're not going to replace humans entirely yet because of the nimble fingers. Robots can't yet do what we do. Yikes. Um, and living in the time of now, what I'm seeing is pretty scary. And I have also seen it in my own workspace where they expect one person to do the job of 4 people in the space of one day. Some people will work their colleagues to the bone, and this one hit a little too close to home. Oh boy, it's pretty messed up, and it doesn't take into account the working pace of other people either. Other people do things differently, and that's fine. But when you are pitted against each other, ouch. And the technology is used to enhance that. Yeah, our witch, she just gives him films to put on the inside of the lenses. And that's just to like block everything out. And he was just like, oh, but I won't see the highlighted product. How am I going to get to things like efficiently? And she's just like, you're just going to have to muddle through and figure things out. It'll be rough, but you'll learn. Which is kind of like, you know, what people are supposed to be doing when they first start a new job. Because, yeah, yikes. This is a new job for him. He's only just got it, and yikes. And then the second client is somebody who just wants a love spell or something like that. And she's not going to pay the witch to come to her, so she opens up the parameters on the droid that maintains the house, kind of like that Love, Death and Robots thing. The little Zumba droid, the little Roomba droid that apparently can stick to the floor, not just to the floors, but to the walls and ceiling. But she's able to access visuals of the house and to her client through this little droid. And so the droid is following the client around, and as she's explaining her situation, that she just wants she's feeling like her marriage is failing. And as she's going around, the witch is noticing that the books on the shelves are the wives and not the clients, and they're not read. They're like pristine and they're pretty smart books, but at the same time, there's like a fakeness to the house. There's something a little bit off, and she just asks about the books. And so the client then goes, oh, my books aren't for the shelf. No. They're this particular literature that I write myself for me. It's the apparently there's this bot that you can talk to and write a novel. Write a spicy novel. And it's catered to each individual person that goes through it. And yeah, so she keeps that in a box under her bed. That's the books that she reads. Okay. Anyways, but what she wants is just a little help with her marriage. And so she does put a spell on the house. And in the next client section, it's but not a client. It's like her friend Tay, who's taking her to the woods. And oh boy, do we get planned obsolescence in action here. So when a robot is no longer functioning properly, it gets thrown. There's so many robots that are just fly tipped, but they're still active. They just roam around the woods, and they're called the Fey Woods. Oh, what was the acronym? There's an acronym for them. Feral AI. So Fey, Feral AI. because these little bots are just they help a little this little coffee bot that is on wheels and has had a botched job because somebody did try to repair it, but the wheel doesn't match, and it's a little sensitive to the fact that the wheel doesn't match. And there's also a group of children roaming around trying to help it as well. But Tay kind of gets the witch to help her out, and as they are helping it, she's also talking about Zelda, the client who wanted the love spell. And she's just like, so what did you do to the house? And it was just like, oh yeah, I just put a filter over the mirror because it's not just a plain mirror, it's a tech mirror. Just to like make her look a bit more flattering to herself based on where she's looking more, and just put her novels on the partner's shelf at eye level, and just the little random things that you don't normally notice around the house, like smells and stuff. Because she likes having a herb garden, so she's made this house smell a bit herby. And so, yeah. And the whole thing was described as you can't really love somebody or get somebody to love you if you believe you are boring. So it's that kind of like a ploy to get her to love herself a bit better, which is nice and sweet. Tay just goes, sometimes in my experience, people like that love themselves a bit too much that they can't love others. And we go through this little thing of maybe the witch got played by a narcissist that just wanted the attention and wanted exactly what she got. And running through the behavior of this person as she was interacting with the client. Yeah, so basically trying to decipher out what happened, but at the end of the day, she got paid and it's harmless, really. But they go through the motions of helping this robot out, and Tay gives her some information on the state of things because Tay works for building robots, and she just gives her an update because our witch used to be in that factory and doesn't want to go back. She just wants to stay to help people about. And yeah, I like how the term goddess came about, how our witch wanted to be a goddess and be able to hack and break systems down, but she's not as skillful as she thought she would be. So she's like stuck at the witch level, which is pretty cool. But as she's going through this rundown of what has been going on, it kind of rang a bit H.G. Wells' info dump on the science law. But once you get through that and you understand what's gone on, it's basically planned obsolescence. Ugh. Like, you get your iPhone, not an iPhone, but you get an iPhone and basically it's planned to die. And so the moment a new one comes out, you replace the whole thing. This is going to turn into a Fairphone advert, by the way. And so in order for these companies to keep making the money, you would keep replacing the whole device. Whereas back in the day where we actually had buttons on our phones, you could repair your phone. You could actually fix them. This is a Fairphone, by the way, and you can fix it. I am delaying buying a new display because I got a crack in it, but I can replace the display. I can replace it myself. It's kind of to battle planned obsolescence, but it's like that for droids and robots. And they are making these AI brains, and they just, they're no longer doing a computer system where it would degrade over a long period of time. They would have like an AI brain, artificial function, and it would degrade a bit more elegantly, like, all at once, and you would have to replace the whole thing, and you wouldn't have robots roaming the woods. But it's also like you've got to replace the whole thing, not just like do a patch job and you're good. It's, yeah, the whole thing is to make the companies more money, and it's, yeah. And so the witch goes back to Tommy, gives him an amulet, and he's got to slap it on, and it will attach some malware of some kind. I am not a good techno brain, so yeah. So some of it went over my head, but he just has to slap it on the back of something, and then it will set the malware away, and it will corrupt everybody's glasses and not just Tommy's. So everybody will not get the ghosts and the optimal routes. They just can chill. They can chill whilst they're working. And it's, yeah, I think there may have been a bit more to it, but again, I've not got a techno brain, but I did like that. Like, right, I think I can do a bit more. I can fix something else kind of mindset. And she also invites Tommy to go around the Fey Woods, feral AI woods. And it's like this whole thing about humanity, that we're designing robots to be more like humans, but if anything, we are designing robots so we can be more like them. And it's not great. Because we're trying to become more efficient, and there's also that horrific line going, there's always somebody younger who will accept less pay. Yikes. Under 25-year-olds get different pay to, yeah, there's a whole pay thing with age that we have. I don't know if it's like that where you are, but yeah. 16-year-olds get paid differently to 18-year-olds, that get paid differently to 25-year-olds. It's a whole thing. Yeah, I remember getting a pay rise when I turned 25. It was very weird, but this implies that they are not going to do that. It's more of a, they'll hire somebody who will accept that low pay, and it'll stay at that low pay because things are so bloody bad. Yeah, it's kind of calling upon planned obsolescence, corporate greed, and how we're turning people into machines by pushing them to be more efficient for the company. Yeah. And this witch is trying to help people on an individual basis, just to attempt to get hold on to her own humanity in a sense. And it was pretty good. It was very interesting. Some of the techno stuff, when it came to the info dump, it did kind of slow me down a bit, but it's fine. I'm gonna put a question out. Should I return to this in January, or is this gonna be just exclusively October's? Because there's quite a few ones I'm looking forward to. So we don't know. I don't know. I might be inclined to do it for January. But yeah, that's this week's short story. But yeah, bye, Shell.
And bye to all you other wonderful weirdos witching.
I am not going to stop wearing witch hats.